Building a generic, universally applicable B2B platform in 2026 has become prohibitively expensive. The cost of customizing these massive systems outweigh their utility. Market research indicates that many operators still spend 5 hours of a 12-hour workday on digital housekeeping, manual tasks like lead chasing and spreadsheet updates. This friction is driving a shift toward hyper-vertical micro-SaaS tools that use agentic AI to handle these specific burdens automatically. Horizontal SaaS requires high customization, whereas vertical tools embed directly into operations. Generic tools face high churn, but an entrenched niche tool sees near zero churn. Finally, horizontal platforms rely on expensive ads, while vertical founders use targeted direct outreach. Targeting a hyper-specific workflow limits your total addressable market, but allows for premium pricing that businesses gladly pay to remove these administrative headaches. Analyzing market gaps in sectors like healthcare, construction, and e-commerce has identified 20 highly targeted micro-SaaS concepts that are technically viable for 2026. Choosing an idea based on the technical elegance of the code or personal interest is a common path to failure. The practical viability of these software concepts is determined by whether you can afford the specific data required to pitch the decision-maker directly. Bypassing saturated ad networks requires precise, deterministic B2B contact data to execute targeted cold outreach to the people who actually have the authority to buy. Your existing capital dictates your target market. To find the right fit, we will evaluate these SaaS ideas across 3 distinct funding scenarios. We can map these opportunities by looking at technical and regulatory complexity versus the cost of acquiring lead data needed to sell them. Category 1 is the bootstrapped indie hacker. This path requires minimal starting capital and focuses on markets with fast sales cycles. These founders use live web scraping tools to pull direct emails from public sources like state licensing boards, local municipal registries, and Google Maps for almost no cost. The optimal targets here are local business owners, independent veterinary clinics, small construction firms, and wedding planners. Their contact info is highly publicized to attract clients, making it easy for you to harvest. Examples for this tier include AI voice-to-text models that capture clinical notes during animal exams, or inventory tracking apps that use QR codes for event decor. This path requires sending a high volume of cold outreach. You are targeting tech-averse audiences who are often busy in the field, so your message has to be immediate. Because the average contract value is lower, the software must be instantly intuitive. Scaling this model relies on acquiring a large number of customers with very little hands-on support. The mid-market targeter operates with a moderate budget and a focus on measurable performance metrics. This category sits in the center of the framework, reflecting a step up in both technical integration and lead costs. These founders invest in technographic data, databases that reveal the specific software stack like Shopify or Zendesk that a company is already using. This data allows for precision pitches to buyers like e-commerce directors and agency founders. You aren't just guessing their needs, you are offering a tool that plugs a specific hole in their existing workflow. Tier 2 concepts include AI product review analyzers for Shopify stores or automated sales handoff checklists for digital marketing agencies. The trade-off is the monthly cost of the data and the fact that these mid-market buyers receive frequent pitches from other vendors. To break through that noise, your outreach must lead with a clear mathematical return on investment that justifies the subscription immediately. There is also a platform risk. Since these tools rely on a client's existing stack, a third-party API change can instantly break your core functionality. Category 3 is the venture-backed builder, armed with the capital to sustain long, complex sales cycles. On our map, this category sits in the top right. The technical, regulatory, and data costs are all at their highest levels. Mapping the internal structures of large corporations requires enterprise-grade intelligence databases that can cost tens of thousands of dollars per year. This investment provides access to guarded decision-makers in highly regulated sectors like clinical healthcare, insurance compliance, and manufacturing. Software in this tier includes AI-driven prior authorization engines for medical clinics, or ESG compliance platforms that help industrial suppliers meet mandatory reporting frameworks. These sectors have massive barriers to entry, including long sales cycles, strict data privacy compliance like HIPAA, and significant legal liability. Successfully navigating these hurdles results in mission-critical contracts. Once you solve a regulatory pain point for an enterprise, the lifetime value of that customer is enormous. Moving from initial research to final execution requires you to strictly align your technical ambitions with your actual financial resources. Building a polished product for a market where you cannot afford the lead data will lead to months of wasted development. Your first decision is your data budget. Zero budget? Use public registries to pitch local SMBs with tools like proposal wizards. Moderate budget? Invest in technographic data to target mid-market e-commerce and agencies. Venture funded? Buy enterprise intelligence to solve complex compliance problems in healthcare. Startups failing to respect this alignment between their budget and target market often find themselves with a product they have no way to sell. Focus on solving a deeply hated administrative problem for a specific niche where you can realistically afford to acquire the lead data.